All the nights I kept my eyes open. All the days I tried to sleep. Pushed away the troubles around me. Did not see I fell too deep. Keep control of me. Try to keep the frequency. Keep control of me.
Hello, friends. Hello, Blezzy. Hello, Sphinxy. I'm here. I'm lurking. Hello, Lewis. Guardian EU. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, Mr. Bucko. What's up, y'all? Ozan Jones. Deepak, DP Leo, Fight to Vanquish Nova. What's up, Chelsea, Tiger? Good day for some chessbrah. Some more chessbrah. Were you in the Twitch stream, Tiger, or did you just check in now? Need to do a roll call for who just got here. Is this a wider camera? It's a different camera, that's for sure. You can't even see it a bit. Our main camera is right there. It's being repurposed, getting ready for a big trip to Europe. That's right. It's going to Europe too, and it's very excited. What's up, CD Hill? Etienne. Oh, a very good time for that indeed, Etienne. That's something we're only doing here. Cervic. Where in Europe? If you type in ! Europe, you will quickly learn. How haven't Kick been sued? Literally a clone of Twitch? My friend, there's lots of that out there. There's lots of that out there. What was that? There was like I think there was a moment after Fortnite was created or released where absolutely every single game company started to push out these I don't know how to describe them, but like survival, there's a specific word for them. I don't play any of these games, but this type of game where you just get dropped from the sky. Battle Pass? No, I'm referring to the type of game that Fortnite was. Like, Battle Royale. Yeah. All of a sudden, everyone made a Battle Royale game. Tons of similarities, but... Pay to play? Those have been around for a while, too. Yeah, exactly, Spencer. Battle Royale. Was after PUBG. Hey, I don't know if you were around long enough, Guardian EU. Were you watching or following chessbrah back when we were in PUBG? Hey, what's up, Daryl in Paradise? Ezra Goldberg. Yeah, chessbrah, well, under a different name, had a professional PUBG team in the highest league in Europe. So, competing with your C9, your TSMs, etc., etc. This was quite some time ago. This was back in Calgary, but in the early Calgary days. So before COVID, and a ton of people got into chess during COVID. So that's why I think a lot of people miss that phase. I got my 4 p.m. coffee. You would strongly suggest a visit to Cyprus. Well, I haven't been there yet, so automatically, Matrix, it makes it more likely than not. You've already got a leg up there. I like traveling to places I haven't been to. Damn, Fred Espin, what the hell is that timing? You and us, we need to work a little bit better on that. It is afternoon coffee time, and Etienne hit the nail on the head earlier. I was talking about doing my Taimanov series, inspired by Chicken Pants yesterday in the viewer tournament. Guy played so well, reminded me. Well, yeah, we gotta do more of that series, and we're only doing it on Kick, so gotta get back to that. There's I suppose I'll mention it before I start. But I'm excited to get into the Taimanov today. Not sure if whoever brought it to mind, it might have been Zooted. Someone posted it in our Discord, and it feels like a little to even like mention it, but it's quite bothersome, honestly. So I wanted to mention it. There's this building habits. What's up, Zooted? These building habits that got released, and it's like someone was in chat earlier, right? Who was it that was just asking about Kick? And it's like, oh yeah, Kick looks like an exact copy of Twitch, right? Someone just said that. And it's like, yeah, that's right. But then I saw this habits thing, and I was like, huh? It's like, oh, I guess we could do that too. Building habits. Yeah, they had. So you search building habits, right? And you know, we've heard of it. Building habits, yes, it's a good series. You should watch it. They also have other habits videos on YouTube. Then they got this guy. Building habits. Like, the thumbnail is the same, like it's the same hat. This thumbnail is actually different from the thumbnail that there was initially. Like, I think it's changed slightly, even though it hasn't really changed that much. It even says improve instantly. Like, same wording. But like the outfit being like identical, building habits, and I was like, okay, that's surprising. So so building habits, same thumbnail and everything. So then you click in the video. I'm like, okay, he's using the Caracan, interesting. And it's the same rules. But it's not just the same rules like, oh, the same rules, but this is my graphic. It's like, it's the same graphic. It's the exact same graphic. It's just like, I couldn't believe it. So it's not even, I think he's an IM. Yeah, it's an IM. And then, and then naturally, me, I'm like, okay, so where's the chessbrah part where you say like, oh yeah, chessbrah did a video ultimately I was inspired by the chessbrah video. I decided to make it myself. So a lot of people have actually sent me a DM, smaller content creators, other content creators, and they're like, hey, the habits thing was cool. Would you mind if I used your habits and like tried it myself? See if it actually works. I was like, sure. Right? Give a shout out to the chessbrah habits. No problem. I was looking for the shout out here. And it's in here. It's in the description. But it's not in the description like in the description you can see it. It's in the description like it's not there. But if you go show more, it's there. Check out chessbrah series which inspired me. That's it. I got one line in here. Not even top of the description. Nothing. Check out chessbrah series which inspired me. Feels like I'm buying a beer. And then right at the end, it's like, huh? Must be of, huh? What? Legal, what'd you say? So the credit is hard to find. I thought the video was gonna start and be like, yo, I watched this chessbrah habit series. It was pretty cool. You should check it out. This is my version. And you know what? Probably even that would be okay. I just got such a weird vibe watching this video, and like some people were linking it to me. And I had to stop and I had to reflect because I was like, you know what? Like, imitation, sincere form of, you know, I had to think about that for a sec. But I don't feel very flattered. It's about how you feel. I don't feel flattered. So I was like trying to think to myself, man, why don't I feel flattered right now? But I do feel flattered, you know, when other people, because guess what? It's YouTube. It's not like you own an idea. For example, adoption. Eric and I came up with the term adoption a long time ago. It's not like we're out there going, you guys can't adopt people. We came up with that. Speedruns. I didn't invent a speedrun, right? I might have been the first one to do it in chess, very officially calling it a speedrun, but they've been doing that in video games for years and years. Not to mention other guys, OG YouTubers like even John Bartholomew, have a rating climb series, which is not quite a speedrun, a little bit different, but obviously same concept. Naroditsky has a really good slow chess series where he just plays rapid chess and teaches stuff. I decided to do a slow chess series where I play rapid chess and teach you stuff. But there's something about this that was just so specific. It's like the whole concept of habits and the exact rules and everything, and like the exact thumbnail. It's so specific that I was kind of expecting a little more of a shout out or something. The layout, I don't know. This blew my mind. This blew my mind. I'm very much on the side where it's like, no, I don't think things like this deserve to, even though this is like, honestly a little bothersome, I don't think it deserves to be copy striked. No. I also am very much on the side that I'd rather the fair use stuff on YouTube be too lenient than too strict. So I'd prefer to see it here than not see it here, as weird as that is to say. But at some point, it's a little much, right? It's a little much. So I was just blown away by this. Did not sit well with me. A couple guys there at Discord were linking it, bring it up, and I was like, this is like kind of scummy. I didn't get a good feeling here. It's like, I appreciate the shout out, I guess, if I click like show more and like find this one line. but he doesn't really mention it in the video. Like the spoken, it's not like starting the video and being like, what's up guys? I decided to try out, you know, Chessbrah's Building Habits series with the Caro-Kann, because he's doing a different opening, and that's cool. That's like a cool concept, but like, just doesn't feel like there's enough credit being handed out here. So, didn't sit well with me. A lot of people have been linking it to me. Thought I would just mention it, especially because someone just let us in with a question about kick, but I don't know. Gave me a weird feeling. Even looking at it now, it's a fucking copy, is what it is. The rules are copied. The thumbnail is like identical. Like, at least change the thumbnail. Like, what? This thumbnail is not special. In fact, I would say our thumbnails are probably not good. but like, why is the thumbnail the same? So I don't know. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Improve instantly. It's like, and the fucking graduation outfit. It's like, it's unnecessary. Unnecessary. So I don't get good vibes from this. I don't get good vibes. Yeah, I can't remember what color my hair was in the original video. So maybe that's how he's passing it off as his series. He doesn't have, what did I have, like, platinum blonde hair or something in that video? So maybe that's how he's calling it his. Anyhow, let's start this. This series. But this was like very disturbing. Woke up, what was it, 1 or 2 days ago? A few lads were talking about it. And will this also be a YouTube vid? I don't know if I can make this a YouTube vid, Fish. You know, we were talking about his series, Building Habits. Video might get copy striked. I'm not sure I can upload this. Might have to check with him first. Is it just me? I made the series, so I'm like extra. I'm obviously biased. I'm extra passionate about the series, but I thought this was a lot. Like, I understand if someone does a guess the ELO video and someone else does a guess the ELO video. It's like, okay, you know, I understand. The content is going to be very unique in both of them. It's like, okay, it was a trend. Someone releases a mittens video, 20 other content creators are going to release a mittens video. But like, but he could have just asked me, like, hey, I want to try your habits with the Caro-Kann. I've probably been like, hey, that's a pretty cool idea. You know, shout out the original videos. So, anyway, got weird vibes, and a few people were asking me. So, not only did I want to talk about it because it's just actually kind of bothersome, but I was genuinely curious what people would think as well. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't too off base here. So anyway, let's do our Taimanov here. And remember, if you haven't caught our series so far on the Taimanov, it will be on the YouTube channel eventually. And about 30 days after it's on our YouTube channel, you can also find it on his YouTube channel. So in case you miss it on my stream or my YouTube, you can find it here on his. That's the way it feels, bonker sick. The rules and everything, the thumbnail, it's like, damn. That's a lot, man. Didn't need to be all up in the thumbnail like that. Fuck off, real T-Money. Trying to have a real moment here. Try to share some real thoughts. All right. Where are we? 800 here. 800. Yeah, if you haven't seen our series thus far, we've been playing C4 with white and obviously the Sicillian Taimanov with black. We often get the reverse with white, which is quite helpful. Is chess.com subscription worth it? So what is it? Exclamation mark premium? Let's see here. So this brings up the membership options. So answering this question in more detail than I need to. If you do exclamation mark premium and you do decide to get a subscription, you should use that link there. It helps support us. But is it worth it if you get it with the chessbrah referral? Then the answer is yes. Honestly speaking, between these three options, which one's worth it if you're really into chess, like you're not looking back, it's a passion, it's an addiction, a hobby, and you know you're gonna be interested in not only learning it but using all the features. Just get the diamond. It is good value, but the best one that I've heard from people over and over again is platinum. I've heard very good things about the value that you get from platinum. So I've always had the diamond because I think when I joined chess.com I was already a titled player, so I'm spoiled. You know, I'm not the best person to ask. I've always had all the features available, so I haven't really thought about it, but I have listened to a lot of people in our chat who've been talking about which ones they've been getting. Gold, unanimously not worth it, I can tell you that. Platinum basically unlocks all of the relevant features, like the stuff you care about. It won't have the niche stuff. You'll still be restricted in some places, but not that much. Like platinum, you're getting a lot. I've heard that it's pretty much the best if you're not trying to break the bank. And then obviously diamond is really popular, but all I can say is I've heard that gold is probably not worth it. Platinum is probably the best if you're just trying to choose one of the cheaper options. So see what you think. The diamond is nice if you're really interested in chess. You're sure it's a long time hobby, and you just don't want to have to think about like an ad block or a paywall to do a puzzle rush or something. Is this an ad or is it self-driven? Well, I don't think there's any secret that we've been working with chess.com not since the very beginning, but almost since the beginning of streaming. We've been partnering with chess.com for a while, so not an official ad, but always trying to drive people to the website and to the platform for sure. Don't sleep on the coach explanations. So the thing is, you get unlimited game review, right, in the platinum compared to the diamond as well. Puzzles, game review, lessons, and no ads is already like, that's a pretty solid start. And I think there's more stuff in there. But the coach explanations, yeah, don't sleep on that, that's for sure. That's for sure. Red Esmond, do you have platinum? The bots seem pretty useless. I guess they're gonna update the bots, right? But yeah, in general, the bots are pretty useless. Like superheroes. Mighty Martin. The Green Pawn. Dead Lost. Blunder Woman. The Question Master. Like it hurts me. It hurts me to even read those things out loud. It really does. You don't understand how game review is more useful than the eval bar going up and down? Bottomless chasm. What I can tell you, and this is just, it might just be me, but game review is the only way that you will produce a brilliancy. You're not getting a brilliancy unless you have game review. And that alone is worth a monthly payment from me. Seeing those 2 exclamation marks and that sexy light blue, that cyan motherfucker, I mean, it's worth it. It's a drug. It's a real drug. Edwig, I think the bots are obviously a, super gimmicky, cringe thing. But you have to remember, there's a lot of, like, ton of kids that watch streams with when the streamers play them, or that use chess.com and find it entertaining. Like, when you were a kid and you were into Spider-Man, and they just had like a Spider-Man chess bot, it's like, okay, I get it. And let's not forget, chess.com secures the bag with these, right? Do you guys remember when they had the bots from a movie that was coming out? It was like Megan or something. Chess.com securing the bag. Do you know how easy it is to make one of these fucking bots? It probably takes the devs like 4 seconds. Mighty Martin and fucking the Green Pawn and Coach May, like, it's all one engine. It's one engine. They just put a different little avatar and like a couple lines of script, and it's totally new. It probably takes them actually 30 seconds to make. And chess.com is for sure securing the bag with these. Gordon Hayward, Larry Fitzgerald, Cheeto, Daryl, like, I mean, I have to be in favor of this. I really do. Yes, it's a little cringe, but there's lots of kids that probably find this stuff awesome. And chess.com is 100% securing the bag with these. Especially when it comes in the form of like a sponsorship. Like when they had that movie they were promoting, for sure they did some deal where the movie paid them and they put the bots out, right? I mean, secure the bag. Mittens went viral, but Mittens, like, that was their own thing, you know? That's shout out to chess.com. They just like came up with that. I don't know how they got that to work. I think they had that one as well, Mike. But if I recall, it was 2 different promotions. Yeah, I know what you mean, John. I know what you mean. Those are always a little disappointing. Pretty sure Alex came up with mittens. All right, let's get started. We're at 800, starting at 800 here today. Taimanov, easier to explain once we get into it. But I think at 800, getting up to 1,000, we should start seeing less, immediate opening blunders, and hopefully still a lot of e4 because, you can't play it against d4. Against d4, I'll just play the Dutch. I'll play the Dutch. We'll stick with 3-minute games here, so they're gonna go kinda quickly. Kinda quickly. Oh, Yasser is here. Well, guys, make way. Yasser is gonna be seated at the front of the class here. He has the most to learn about our Taimanov series here. He's probably pretty unfamiliar with the structure, where the pieces go, all that stuff. So, just want to make sure we get him a seat up front. Everyone else can keep the notepads out, but some of you might have to stand. Some of you might have to stand. Good to have you here, Yasser. 3-minute games. All right. With the white pieces, we'll do our best, but obviously with white, the most we can hope for is some type of reversed Taimanov. And with the black pieces, we're playing the Sicillian against e4. So I'll try to keep the setup the same for the most part. Only so much we can do here. Oh, that's a nice move. It's a friendly move. I think we can do this, even though e4 can be played. Should be able to go there. So our setup is going to look something like this. Why b3? Well, I can't go b4, can I? Obviously, if this was a real Sicilian or a real reverse Sicilian, this pawn would be there. And then what would I do? I would play b4. So it's not a perfect replica right now. Bishops. He can go e4 here. I'll take and play bishop b2, and I think we'll still be getting our pieces out where they need to be. But the only reason we're not playing b4 is like that pawn's usually here. That would be a reverse type of Sicilian position. Anytime d5 happens, we always take it, so that's a automatic move. Don't need to think twice about it. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, John Galt. If white played a4 against our Sicilian and we had a6, yeah, I might play b6 and bishop b7. That's right. That's right.
The collection.
Okay, I'll take. You won't often have this situation. Oh, interesting. Knight e7. So now I'm thinking of taking.
It's not mine.
Queen should recapture because otherwise this pawn would be loose. The other thing is knight g5. If I can ever get my hands on the light square bishop, that is a big check mark. We want to do that, definitely. If we take here, the queen takes. Suddenly queen takes b3 is threatened. So
It's ours.
not sure that we can do that. Knight g5. Knight a4. Knight e4, b6. Oh, knight e5, knight g5. Yeah, this I don't like. It's weird to think about these positions because the pawn is usually on c7. So actually, when you're playing the a Sicilian position, you're very, very rarely going to have a c-pawn to attack. Usually you're just going to put a knight there, like just drop it there. Knight f6. So if we take rook c8, here gets a little bit dicey. I think this might be a knight g5 position. We want to play this move so that we don't necessarily win a pawn right away, hoping to infuriate Yasser and try to win it later. Because I'll tell you, if I don't win a pawn but I get his bishop, that'll be perfect for me. I prefer that. Knight g5, looking to take the bishop. Queen d6, so I might be able to do both here. So we'll start by taking a pawn and with a tempo as well. I'll take that bishop. And I think it's time to... No. Am I gonna... No, I can't do it. I have to just play it safe. Gasser's got me thinking about taking more pawns when someone smart would just bring the bishop back, play h3, count your blessings. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous pawn structure. This one is it. This is a tricky. I tell you, that move really caught me by surprise there. Rook d7. Boy, I didn't see that one. Now, oh. He was fast too, wasn't he? Had some good speed. And Mattis, you are bringing up an important point. Do you wonder, Mattis, why I didn't pre-move that? I hope you noticed I did. I did restrain myself. Because you're absolutely right. A lot of people would pre-move queen takes b4. But you'll actually notice, I thought about it, instead I hovered it. I never actually pre-moved it. Because black could play rook d4, and queen takes b4 pre-move, rook takes b4. Actually, a very decent attempt by black here. It's good to throw that in sometimes. In terms of our setup, you know, it's unusual that this pawn is here in a reverse Sicilian, let's say. Should be there. But we still got a good look at, you know, d5, we always take it. Pieces pretty much go like this. Castle. And, okay, there was already some targets here, but knight e4 is a natural move. Thankfully. He had some great speed, though, for a 700. Like, really, really impressed. Really impressed. Let's continue. Maybe we'll finally get the black pieces here. All right. And it will be d4. We're going to go with the Dutch. I think there'll be a few people, namely Taimanov, paying good attention here. The nice thing about the Dutch is a lot of lines, they produce a stone wall. That's right, we've seen it before. Oh, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? Okay. Let's get our stone wall going. This is an opening that we have talked about. Castles and knight e4 is most likely going to be our our plan here. Knight d7. Oops. Oh, I mean, look, he's just making it happen for me. Always with the F pawn as well. I can see him taking this and going queen h3, or queen h3 right away. You know, whatever floats your boat. That's a free knight for us, but it would have been a free knight any which way. And the Dutch takes another victim. One more victim and one more chess.com report. We take those. Okay, next one. Next one. All right, e4. Here we go. And hopefully you guys remembered, this is the most popular move under 1000. We start with e6, which is the first step in our Taimanov, always. And specifically against this bishop move, instead of bringing the knight out, always go with the pawns. Start with the pawns first. So I want to be able to get b5, gain some space there. Bishop can come out to great diagonal, knight c6. You guys know the drill. We can't quite go c4 because of d3, covering it. If he ever plays d4 though, we're right there waiting for the move c4. We're gonna go for these kind of moves here. Knight f6, bishop e7, queen c7. This is an easy move to play against that. h4. Now I got a question for him. If I attack, is he just gonna leave it there? What's going on here? You gonna launch an attack with my rook on the open file? Okay, takes. We should always be very excited to gain the bishop pair for any reason in this opening, but certainly here. That's castle. So we have the bishop pair. I think a great start so far. d4. So to be quite honest with you, he's a little bit late. He is a little bit late on the d4 move. Not only should that have been played way earlier in the game, probably instead of the bishop c4 stuff, but it's also a free pawn, completely free. I've got so many pieces attacking. I'm gonna start by taking with the knight. My next move, maybe taking with the pawn. I'm just gonna think for a sec. Like this looks great, but if we take with the pawn, knight here, we also get this pawn. We lose d4. Trying to decide what's worth it there. Because bishop takes is also just so strong. So strong. Alright. I'm gonna go here because it opens things up more. Even though knight e2 wins this pawn, there's a beautiful, beautiful open diagonal there that we're gonna try our best to utilize. c3 is needed here. Probably gonna go rook e8. I'm actually a little, slightly conscious of the fact that it could be a sacrifice there. Drop our bishop back. Slide this rook over somewhere and either go for this plan or perhaps bishop takes, and he goes for it now. Maybe a little hasty. This is why I wanted my rook here. So I'll bring my king to the corner. What am I threatening? Queen c6, and this is the You get a lot of wins in the Taimanov just based off of this diagonal. So good idea. Unfortunately, we can throw this move in and force the queen away. That will give me the bishop. Now, again, all I really want to do is bring it back, play queen c6, and win on the diagonal once again. So I'm hoping that's going to be enough. There it is. These pieces coordinate so well. That's why when the Taimanov is played like the main line, where the knight comes and takes d4 on the Sicillian, I always say, leave your queen on c7, let them take your knight and take back with your queen. That sets your diagonal up already, which is kind of nice. Okay, 825, getting there. C4 with white. E5 is the most common. Okay, D5. I have to say this is a very common way that people play. Queen C2. By the way, I'm already threatening knight B5, which wins the game. So something like this or this. Amazingly, knight B5 is winning. That was quick. Well, yeah, that was quick. I didn't think it'd be this quick. He said, I'm out. Lost the rook. GG. I'm done. There you go. I wasn't trying to do this. I was just trying to show you guys the great setup, you know. My hope is that you guys understand where the pieces belong. E3, A3, E6, A6, right? Your queen belongs on C7, C2. Knight on C3, C6. If you can, pawn up to B5 or B4. Bishop, obviously, fianchetto's behind it. And then these kingside pieces just go to normal squares. You play D3 or D6, depending on whether or not you need it. Maybe to control E5. Like if your opponent has a pawn here and is threatening to move it up, it'd be a good time to play it. Otherwise, just get the bishop out, knight out, and castle. The hope as we approach 1000 is that at least is understood. Playing well because it's not emote only. You got me. You got me. Hey, what's up, Badkins? Okay, we got the white pieces again. C4, again, E5. So we're playing the reverse Sicilian. That's what this is. That's what that was. I don't know what this is. B5, I'll bite. I will bite. Okay. I'm going on a journey. I am going on a journey. What the heck is going on here? What the heck? Red Pandas. Hey, thanks for the 6 subs. Now, how many of you have forked a queen and a rook on move 7? Maybe lots of you, right? You've made it to C7 or F7, you know. But how many of you have done it on move 7 in the center of the board? It cannot be many of you. He's hitting us with this. A little scary looking, but we'll play F4. So we'll definitely castle here. He doesn't have a light square bishop, which makes it a little bit safer. Queen H6. So, does anyone see what he might be up to? Does anyone see? Now, while he's up to no good over here, I would wager that he's also the type to get excited about opening the diagonal. And so if I take here, right, and he pushes and I pre-move this, for sure, there's no way. Like there's not a chance in hell you would ever see it. It's impossible. Like there's no way he could see it. You just have to use your opponent against himself. Jack. Sorry, buddy. He was so high energy. He was just so interested in getting the checkmate threat. Unlucky. Queen b7. With queen a8, he'll go there. But queen b7, he'll develop the knight, and then we go queen a8 and mate him. Tim, thank you. That's good. Yep, put her on the YouTube already. 800s always fall for this tactic. C6. That's an incredibly strong move. Myron Hard. I'm going to follow my own habits and say make our escape square the opposite color of the bishop. So h3 here would be much worse in my opinion. So we're just going to play g3. And why don't we go for let's go for a basic plan. Gotta close my eyes and sander. I'm going all the way. I'm going all the way here. It's supported by the rook. It's escorted by the queen. All right, I'll take. King on a light square. Best way to avoid that bishop. Should be made in 2 or 3 moves. GG. What happened in this one again? Oh, this was a weird one, yeah. He just offered all these sacrifices back to back to back. Not much happening there, but we did get him with clear prediction. Ahoy Smucker. Where's Mike? Oh, he's here. Mike's always lurking. Does this opening have a name? I'll tell you what chess.com calls it. It calls it, and this is wild. So it calls it the English opening, duh. The King's English variation. The King's English variation. That sounds like chess.com is trying to just be buzzwordy. Like, they didn't have a name for it, so they just picked all these names from other openings and sploshed them together. Like, you have the semi-Tarrasch. They might just see this and just call it like the semi-advanced Tarrasch Gambit. And it's like, what does that even mean? What the fuck is King's English variation? I have no idea. Probably no one wanted this named after them, so they just kind of slid it in there. It does give like ChatGPT name to this opening territory. Next game. Okay, e4 time for the Sicillian. Are we going to see Smith Mora? Most people take the pawn, honestly. And it works out really well for us because knight c6, I mean, part of our Taimanov, right? Perfect. So this should be very familiar. The only difference between this position and the main line is the knight would already be there. All right, let's take the opportunity to gain time and get our bishop where it wants to go, right? Okay. So this would be the normal way to develop here. Because my opponent is being a little bit slow, I think I'm gonna take advantage of that and put my bishop to a slightly more useful square. When I see this, this, and this, I know bad things are gonna happen to good people. I can already feel it. H5, H4 takes, queen takes. So that's what we want. But you have to think about what our opponent's intending here. He's gonna put the bishop on F4. How many times have we seen that? It's been everywhere in this opening. I don't know what it is, but people have a real issue with my queen on C7. They see it there and they just get bothered. D6, maybe queen here as well. I'll go D6 for now. Rook there. Okay, I'm seeing knight G4 stuff. Right? And also the E5 square is under my control. So a move like knight D5, kind of typical for the opening. The knight can drop to a few different squares here. Well, I mean, I wish I had a better explanation for why the Taimanov is so strong, but for the most part, I just sit here and and stuff just hangs. It's always entertaining to do stuff like this because people watching always think to themselves, "Oh, where'd you find these 800s? Oh, these aren't my opponents when I'm in the pool. Oh man, I would beat these guys." No, you wouldn't. If you're 800 and you're watching this, you do the same shit. I promise you. You do the same shit. You don't think you do, but you do. You are this 800. You are this person. Ouch. Ouch. It always reminds me, someone who follows NFL a little bit better will know, but was it the Chicago Bears and the kicker missed? I don't know if it was like a relatively easy field goal for NFL standards or an extra point or something, but like, I think it was Chicago Bears missed an important kick and all the fans were like, "Oh my God, you're trash, you're garbage. I could have kicked that, right? I could have got that one in." And didn't they host an actual event? Didn't they host an actual event in Chicago where the fans could come out and they set up the field goal and they set up the ball and they had literally fan after fan attempt to do the kick? And of course, like, some people slipped walking up to the ball. Like, it was one of the funniest, like, it's just a classic case of watching something, be like, "Oh, why don't you just fucking kick it in?" And then you set the ball up and you see how long the distance and you're like, Jesus Christ. Really bad. It's always easier when you're watching. So it's amazing. Like, I'm playing these games, people are just sacking their queens, like just blundering straight up. And you're looking at it going, what? This is crazy. But when you guys join the pool, this won't happen. That's the way it works. That's the way it works. Yeah, I always like that quote from Brian. Like, I'm closer to LeBron James than any of you are to me. Always like that one. Okay, let's go c4 with the white pieces. e3, you know, we'll keep our, you know, dreams alive, but ultimately, when people do this and play d5, kind of have to adjust. That move we like to see, though. Remember, against the c5 thing, we can't really play a3, b4, so I'm just putting the pawn on b3 for now. Ooh. I'm seeing good stuff over here. As soon as the knight shows up here, by the way, I'm probably going to consider a3. e5. I am thirsty for an attack on the other side of the board here. So thirsty. So, because I don't see this bishop joining anytime soon, I am going to put my bishop here. When the knight shows up here, I'm going to immediately play a3 because knight b4 is going to knock my socks off. So knight c6, a3 is like magnetic move. I'm like ready to do it. He can't play this right now. I'm probably going to put my own pieces on that square, knight g5 to cover it. I know it looks a little funny, but I'm ready for h5. I'm ready to sack. Ready for knight g5. This is going to be a fairly substantial attack. Okay, we like to see this. Now the knight can get in, and you can see kind of the bad things that might happen to good people here. Right? Queen e8, all of a sudden, take. Knight f6. Queen e6 makes the most sense. Queen e6, there's other things to worry about. All right. I think we're gonna take here. Gotta get the sacrifice in. The only other thing to do is here. Queen g4 and rook takes h5, so I'm definitely thinking of that. Rook takes, bishop h7, king moves up somewhere. It looks like bishop f5, knight e5 is good. I think I might end up going for this. This is like, maybe not going to lead to checkmate, but I think it's the better move. The queen now has to go here. It's the only square left. You see how literally all my pieces are working here towards the same goal. King side, right? And queen g4 is a good looking move. The rook takes h5, defends my knight, and knight f6. No matter where your queen ends up, here or here, is going to win material. Let's take here. Check as well. Okay, king h8. Interesting, interesting. Well, I think should be able to pretty much sacrifice our way to victory here. Takes and takes. Bishop e4 would be another reasonable move. But I think we need to rip the cover off the king. Oh, he's just not interested in... he's not interested in taking my pieces, it seems. Like, at all. It's a weird feeling. Knight h6 check. I mean, this guy's hanging as well. I have been playing this whole game in the hopes that he will take one of my pieces. One of them. I think he took the rook on h5, and it's been downhill ever since. So he's like, you know what? I'm not touching another piece. I've seen what happens. Knight b4. All right, well, we'll take here. That's a check. And surprisingly in this position, and it is surprising, you know, the pieces are all involved to bring you this gorgeous checkmate. And I said all of them involved, and you might be saying, wait a minute, the queen guards this, the knight guards that, the bishop's doing that, but the knight's not doing anything. You're right. Sorry, I forgot. There you go. Ouch. That's a lot of pieces doing a lot of stuff. Everyone was involved there. Very informative game. Well, might be sarcasm, and your sarcasm would be appreciated because, you know, a lot of these games are just full blunders, but truly, if people are not taking the center at all, the way that the pieces get set up in the Taimanov lends itself really nicely to an H-pawn push. Because the diagonals are so disgusting when you get all your pieces on there. The knight g5, because knight g5, even though you're going for an attack, when h6 happens and you need to bail out, you can always come back to e4 in the center. It's a nice feeling. So you kind of go on the attack maybe with these moves, but if you need to undo the attack, then coming back in the center is just fine. And in case anyone's wondering, h4 is the best move in this position by a very clear margin. h4, h5. So h4 is not like, oh, I'm playing against the 700. I'm just gonna go for something like brilliancy prize. No, h4 is actually the best move, and it's a very thematic idea in the Taimanov. So the Taimanov has a nice vibe to it because you can play it ultra aggressive if your opponent's kind of misplacing his pieces and wasting too many moves with pawns, etc. You can play this and it won't be... You're not going to be accused of playing salty clown chess. Is g6 a big mistake by black? Yes. Huge mistake. That bishop needs to be there if the pawn is on g6. My bishop is looking pretty nasty on this diagonal. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Eat bruh.
Yep.
Oof. We had a pretty nasty conclusion to this game here. Like,
Oh, you're doing this stuff.
oh yeah, when the H pawn gets up there, and
Oh.
we involved all the pieces for a.
That's picturesque though.
I haven't done this to someone in a while.
No,
I'm
this
like
is-
an addict. Like,
This makes C4. This is what C4 players do, bro.
you think this is what Champ dreams about?
Maybe.
C4 specialist Champ.
Yes, it does. Tim?
Are you here for tech support?
No, did you respond? I didn't
Yeah.
see it.
Oh, I'm always a yes to that. If it's something quick.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Send you.
Okay. Bless you, brah. Blessed is the bra. Did that wake some people up? We want to make sure the lurkers are typing in chat. Hopefully, hopefully some people had the earbuds in. Yep, Ahoot definitely woke him up. Haven't seen Ahoot typing, that's for sure. A few KOs here and there. Romebop, welcome, welcome. Tim, how was Below Deck, by the way? I know Eric was hosting a late session. Still awake, MLP? You've been here since the start, pretty much. You're all good. Hello, JKA. And hello, buddy. We're playing some attacking chess today. What's up, Big B? I like the username, Big B. Big B reminds me, so on Twitter, I don't know if anyone really uses Twitter too much, but there's a guy on Twitter, so if you're following chess Twitter at all, these things pop up on my feed every so often. There's a guy named Grandmaster named Johan Solomon from the country of Norway, and he posts just like a puzzle, and sometimes it's really basic, so you know, it'll be something like this, right? And he just posts a puzzle every so often, and you know, they're kind of fun. You're scrolling, just solve it quickly. They're usually not too complicated, but he'll always ask you not just to solve it, white to mate in 2, but probably clever marketing and engagement strategy. He'll always say something like, can you solve this puzzle quicker than insert person? And I'm convinced he does not know all these people, because this is a different person every time. Can you solve this puzzle quicker than my friend Big Mike? 6 minutes. And it's like, there's no way Big Mike was sitting here for 6 minutes. I'm not buying it. You got Big B and Big Mike. So can you guys solve it quicker than Big Mike? But I honestly, full credit to Johan, because he knows how it works, right? He'll post a puzzle, and only 9% of chess players can solve this puzzle. You know what I mean? Isn't this genius? Only 9% of chess players can solve this puzzle. Who fucking makes those stats? You? Where's this number coming from?
Just the house thinking. Just the house thinking.
I mean, it's genius. So he posts a lot of puzzles, right? I like it. Good engagement. So if you like solving puzzles, I think it's a cool account to follow, but some interesting stuff here. But when I see Big Mike, I'm like, damn, does he really know Big Mike? Can you find mate in 2? Super tricky. Can you solve this one quicker than my friend Michael? 11 minutes. Light mode Twitter really burns the eyes. Yeah, I think I'm just on the browser version, which I basically never open unless I'm showing a link on stream. But I pretty much always, I'm always on Twitter on my phone.
A lot of sensations happened last night.
Is Michael Big Mike? Well, that's the thing. It might just be one person, right? It could just be one friend, but referred to as different things. Michael, Big Mike, Mickey, like, Just so many different things.
Yeah, me try something.
Sure.
Because we'll have dark ones work around with it. Temporary, but they'll at least show how many subs start now.
Session sub counter.
They don't have a goal, but they'll have a number.
Let's hear it.
Not to mention the after
Were
party.
you on this screen?
Just the after, they call it.
Yeah.
For analysis, what's your normal screen?
Back after hours. The kick
Yeah.
in Los Angeles. The after parties that we do.
Just keep this open. It doesn't have to be the top layer, but
Yep.
it would actually just be a window.
That makes sense. Tim says below deck. Good. A dark bone workaround. I think people have been really startled with far.
So that's true.
Yes, thank you. Dark bone.
Try and look on both.
Which is right.
Well, I'm just trying to add the window capture with the addition of
Well, yeah, you need to just go to so.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll just do
Yeah.
that and then
Yep. Makes sense. Oh, did someone sub?
somebody did sub.
Perfect. Testing it out. Trying to get a sub counter on stream for y'all. A kick sub counter. Hotly requested.
I did this like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I don't remember. Problem is the white background, right? It's something.
You and him?
Yeah, but it's all like glitchy and stuff.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I thought you were going to fight.
This. You see how this is potentially like this is transparent?
Yeah. Oh, it is there.
Oh yeah.
But it's yeah. It is there, but the text is blocked.
Yeah, I can't do it. I forgot.
Worth. Low Joker Smoker. Lajos, not entirely, but yes. You can expect to find us here most of the time, buddy.
Okay, I don't want to mess it up right now. I don't think I can get it to show properly.
It's more about the format. It's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't work.
Even did some custom CSS.
Yeah, it's like that.
My internet's slow. Oh, I sent it.
That'll work.
Yeah, I can adjust.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just see what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. My only question is this: like, those numbers
Yep.
not close. Okay.
Yeah, this is the old one, so I might be using like.
Mm-hmm.
It's not matching right now. Let's see what we need.
Did you send me the point? Back to?
Yeah, but the one I sent says
Yeah, like almost the same.
let's restart.
Yeah, exactly, Nova. It's a scam to. Oh, guys, we're having some trouble with the sub counter. I need to give some subs to test it out. Well, as you know, Fish, we haven't had a like a sub counter on kick officially yet, so you have a potential soon.
Yeah, it's not matching. I see what you mean.
It's clearly complaining.
Test it out some more. I'll test it. We'll figure it out. We'll go back to the lab.
Our first,
We might need some more people to test subbing.
our first marbles race was also some enjoyable madness where people could enter like 50 times. So,
Was it real team money? Quite a lot.
real T-Money, Boss Moose, Check Manarov, yeah, some regulars, usual suspects. Okay. Hey, Kick. We're working here. We don't just come over, Kick. We bring our team with us. We're trying to get the Kick sub counter on here. Dark Bone in the background. "21 subscribers. Now hang on a sec. 21 subscribers. So the interesting thing is currently exclamation mark subs. Like why do I already feel like that's even a little bit different? Isn't 21 like kind of correct? Or is that just a random number? Let me see here. We had 10 earlier. Ezra 11. Red Pandas 6. Old Man Winter. And then Lajos. It's very close to 21. 21 is from yesterday, you're saying? Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure where the exact count is coming from. Yeah, exactly. Lajos, thanks for gifting us up, by the way, buddy. But age I start playing chess 5 or 6, I think. Youngbrah. Let me put on. Let's put on.
Thank you.
Good set.
Can't have them, sorry. Are they really
Well, that's the thing, Broad 96. Right now, I'm pretty sure the counter does not take into account gifted subs.
You don't know what Gucci is? No. You can't sit with us. Okay. Or party with us. Or get low with us. Or get low with us. You gotta get.
It only counts like new. Yeah, just if someone goes in and just subs themselves.
Yeah, I saw that. And they're like, they were trying to ask you.
Interesting. Well, we'll figure it out. No rush. We're not going anywhere. All right, let's continue. Just past 8:50. This was honestly, this mate is gonna, keep me going for a little while. It's gonna keep me going.
I heard he carries face masks.
Yeah.
Mr. Ted McForehead, do you guys run a fantasy sports league or what? We don't run one, we're working with one. Underdog Fantasy. But I guess you could say the answer is partially yes. Underdog has been awesome to work with, and it's something that we'd like to continue. So you guys signing up, supporting, participating in our fantasy leagues is not only a lot of fun, but helps keep that relationship alive. But we'll definitely we'll definitely be continuing with more of those leagues. We did an NFL draft for the upcoming season. We'll be doing another one. And obviously once other sports start up again. Once they start up again, then we'll be doing more of those. I think we did NHL for the playoffs, NBA for the playoffs. We did a baseball one that's been ongoing for the season, and golf. Yes, we did a golf one as well. You're the best fantasy hockey player on the planet. Is that you, Valentini? Is that you, Val? T Boyles, you previously worked for them? Currently? There's also been a few people in chat who've said that they're already signed up to Underdog. We were like, oh, want to get people signed up, and it's always nice to hear people are already using it. Spudge, you may be actually correct about that. You may be correct there.
We need to get this information out.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, T Boyles. We've had a pretty good experience so far, but obviously different one than you because we've not necessarily working for them, but with them, working with them. And the fantasy leagues have been pretty enjoyable so far. Another one of our, because that sounds familiar, T Boyles, that one, because another one of our current partners is called Odds Jam, and they actually work with Underdog, the company you just mentioned as well. So we have a little bit of synergy in some of our current partners. Is it gonna be Tour de France Hockey League? What's up, not Yo Bob? I'd love to. I think my dad's so into Tour de France. He makes a point to watch every year. You tripping or is chessbrah echoing? Both could be true. I feel like other people would be mentioning the echo, so I'd like to say that you might just be tripping, my friend. Might be you. That's okay. We don't mind everyone having a good trip. You're having a safe one. Here with friends. You'll be back? You'll be back. Damn. He's hearing voices in his head. We lost them already. Probably have 2 tabs open. That's usually the answer. All right, let's do more Taimanov. You guys still with me here? Yasser, obviously, delinquent. It seems to be skipping class, but 850. Let's go for another game here. Oh, that's nice. We got E4. Perfect time to play the Taimanov. E6. D4. All right, so far so good. We're playing the main line. Now I know we play A6 when people play bishop C4. We go E6, A6, but when people play the main line, take with the knight, we start with the knight. And we're always ready to take this way with the pawn. Not D takes, for the most part. Okay, C4. C4. Let's see here. So C4, we probably want to go for things like knight f6 and get the pieces out. So let's start with knight f6, attack the center pawn. C4 is the only one that I would say you play a little bit differently than some of the main lines. Any other moves, you almost always go for the same thing. Queen here, a6, b5, bishop b7. But this one kind of prevents the move b5, and no, don't tell me he's disconnected. Hang on a sec. We finally got the Taimanov. We finally got a main line. And tell me buddy's not even here? Oh, he returned with 1 second. 1 second. He's staying in this game for us. John Dollar. He's not going anywhere. Attaboy, John. Do it for the stream. He's a fighter. Knight here. All right, I'm bringing the bishop out. Bishop c5. Let's hit that knight. Bishop e3. Guess what? I got a trick for you guys. Queen b6. And I promise you, after queen b6, black is going to find a way to be better in every single line here. I know it's surprising. There's a lot of things. Knight a4, but we would have a check to throw in. Knight c6, take the bishop first. No matter what, black has an advantage there, and it happens really quickly. Here, I mean, he's just not even defending the knight. So now we just take it. I'll show you guys some of the variations afterwards, after the game, but I would go so far as to call what I just did an opening trap. And John Dollar, he barely had the internet connection to stay in this, but he fought through, and with 1 second left before it would auto-resign, he stayed in so we could see this opening trap work. And now he's disconnected. But shout out to John Dollar, a real one. He wanted to make sure that people had something they could learn, something they could take away from this game. Big shout out to John Dollar. All right, let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. So yeah, c4, it's a fine move. Knight f6, hitting the pawn. First of all, if the knight takes here, I've said a few times, we are not interested in playing moves like this and allowing this queen exchange. It may have to happen in some lines, but whenever we'll need to do it, or it's the best move, I'll always tell you. And that may occur shortly. But for the most part, pawn takes. And if e5 to hit your knight, smack him in the face with queen a5. Okay, so knight f6. So we attack the pawn. Of course, he defends it, right? Knight c3. Okay, now we play bishop c5. And now, after knight takes on c6, here is an actual important moment where you will need to play d takes c6. I know it's surprising, but here if you take this way, after e5, there's no queen a5. Our knight can't move into the center. This is trash. Our knight is going to have to go here. Very, very yucky. So we do actually want to play d takes. And so after takes and takes, a lot of people are probably going to still play e5, but we're not scared this time because we have knight g4 hitting these two pawns. Already, thumbs up for us. Knight e4, we can throw in bishop b4 check, and then take this pawn next. We will be up a pawn. If white defends this pawn and defends the other pawn, we go knight here. The rook only has one square, and then knight d3 check. Even though it loses the knight, wins the rook. So once again, we have a bit of an advantage there. And if they don't play e5, and instead they play another move like, for example, bishop here, intending to castle, one of my favorite moves as part of this line is e5. Remember this one. If they castle, our king needs a square. Do not choose that one. Choose this one, and after bishop takes e5, we can still uncork the exact same idea, knight to g4. We'll be taking on f2. The other thing that you can do if you want to just take f2 is you can do it now. I think if you really want to play for a win, you do that. Otherwise, knight g4. And these lines can get a little bit weird. But funny enough, after this, let's say that you wanted to make a draw. You've already got one. Positions where you have at least a draw are never going to be bad. And it could only get better than that, because if you take f2, then I assume you'll beat most of your opponents from these sorts of positions. And if they take right away, bishop takes f2. And you win this bishop. e5 is a sneaky little move. Big fan. Works a lot of the time. Most people develop their bishop there. Of course, they can make a move like this. But remember, your next plan, regardless, and I say regardless because even if bishop here, we still play e5. If bishop here, play e5. Your setup is to play e5 king e7, bishop e6, maybe h6, rook d8, maybe a5, bishop b4, etc., etc. That's your setup. You want this and you want this. When he goes in castles, always put your king here. And you'll notice that this knight is dominated by the pawn. The bishop is trash because of the c pawn. Good position for us. Yes. So that's what we do on knight c6. But a lot of people, almost everyone, will play bishop e3. And I got news for you. After bishop e3, black already holds an advantage. Queen b6 I played. Okay, let's look at some of the obvious moves. Knight takes c6, bishop e3. You're threatening this pawn and you're threatening the knight, and there's not really any meaningful threats that the knight can make. So after takes, you can just take, and you've got this next turn. You're fine to trade queens. Crushing position. The knight's also under attack, mind you. If white moves the knight away, just trade the bishops and the b2 pawn will be hanging. Very simple. Nice and easy. So the last and probably the only like super tricky move, I guess maybe there's two more moves I'll show you, but knight a4 makes the most sense because it hits these two pieces and defends b2, right? And the simple answer to something like this is, well, if you hit them with a check, bishop b4, white has an awkward time responding to this. If knight c3, then you're already winning the e-pawn. I know this looks scary, but takes you just take back with the queen. Meanwhile, you have some serious threats here. Bishop d2 is just going to drop the knight. And yes, your opponent can play king e2, but I'm not going to discuss much more there. If they're playing king e2, I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. Already a good sign. So that's knight a4. Just throw in a check, and either they'll have to bring the knight back, they'll hang a piece, or they'll move their king. All good things for us. White can also play the knight to b5. Might look stupid. Takes, takes, takes. But the reason it's still okay is because there's a few threats here. But we take with a check. Say you block, and we can castle here. And we're doing just fine. You may be curious about knight d6 check. Before taking back. King e7. Anytime they take, I mean, yeah, just take it back, no worries. At some point, they're gonna have to recapture. But this knight is not gonna stay there forever. Like, that's not how it works. That's not a safe square for the knight. If we just go and attack it, it has to move. And if you take the bishop, I'll take back. Either rook, honestly. And maybe tuck my king back in on f8 and g8. So, yes, it's a lot to think about, but it's also good to know that after this you are better, and it's just about remembering the moves that need to be played. So queen b6. Strong move. Usually you'll end up winning the game very quickly here, especially against lower rated players. What was one of the questions here? After queen b2, knight b5 messy? I don't think so. So number one, we could just get castled, just get out of dodge. I also like queen b4 check because it either you trade queens with me or you play king e2. So I would throw in this check, king e2, but I would just castle. Like once you castle, this move doesn't threaten anything, and this move doesn't do anything, and he's just got, you know, so many problems here. With the pawn on c4, you still go for a6, b5. No suited. If we were listening, the whole reason I'm even mentioning any of this is because I said specifically at the start that once they play c4, it's one of the only lines where we can't just go into the main basic stuff that we've been talking about the entire series, which is why we're going to start with knight f6, which is unusual. Because if you remember what we've been doing so far, we've always been moving the pawn, always been moving the queen, always been playing b5, always been playing bishop b7. In this one, we start with the knight. Unusual. Bishop c5, also unusual. Right? If the knight takes, d takes c6, also unusual. So I'm spending a little bit of time here because I just want to reinforce a few unusual decisions compared to the rather systematic approach that we've had so far. And this is just one of the very few cases where you need to make this move or you need to do these things. So that's why I'm mentioning them. Exactly, John. Just a bit of pain. Remember that when, like, once you trade off these pieces, and let's say you win one of these pawns, your queen will always be safe on dark squares. So it really should never get trapped. Queen e5, queen b4, queen c5, queen a5. Those squares are all really safe. All right. Well, that was really easy to remember. I'm sure everyone's got that right up here now. Don't need to review that again, ever. You guys are good, right? That's c4. Nice and easy. Mike, surely you remember all that, right? You like the Stonewall, plain and simple? Mike, you've just been playing the Stonewall for a while. You've been enjoying it. It's been working for you, but you've played a lot of games in it. The same thing will happen with the Taimanov. I've only produced one variation where you do anything other than the status quo and the normal setup. There's a lot of that in the Stonewall as well. You don't do the exact same thing. You have to remember a certain move order. There's things to remember in every opening. But we're at 864 elo, and this is the first time that we've actually had a moment where it's like, okay, sorry, but this is different than usual. We need to remember it. Only once, not too bad, I would say. Hassan, I wasn't hosting that one, but I can say that usually happens later in the evenings, if it does at all. Don't think you'll find that that show on too often at 5-6 p.m. Eastern time. It's a late night vibe. All right, let's continue. Hopefully that wasn't too much of a theory dump on you. I see everyone's passed out in class, doing the thing where you've got the textbook open, but on the inside of the textbook is the chessbrah stream. I get it. I get it. All right, let's go c4. It looks like we might get an e5. Nice. Okay, e4, very, very forward. So we're gonna go with our first couple moves. b4, bishop b2 as well. We're threatening this. Bishop c5 does not seem, and we could take this, but I'm gonna hit him with b4 first. You know, chance we could win a piece here already. We're already gonna win a pawn. Good things, good things. I'll take that, yes please. Yes please. You know where the pieces want to go. Bishop d3 is possible, but I don't like. It looks good, but there's also f5 or g6 that can be played, so not in a specific rush. Let's bring our queen back to the normal square. Most of the time in the Taimanov, when the bishops get traded, you want your queen to replace the bishop. It actually, your queen is such a great piece from b2. Very underrated. Okay. Let's continue and put our pieces on those normal squares. Right here, I'll go ahead and take more of the center. Want to trade? That's fine with me. You don't want to trade? It's also fine with me. So we're ahead of pawn. I'm gonna improve my bishop a little bit. I like this move from my opponent. Queen f6. Big fan of this move. Can't really go there, but bishop h3, surprisingly, actually an idea here. Bishop takes h3, takes, queen takes f3. So, impressed. Color me impressed. Gonna defend the knight. To get ahead of that, bishop f5, I suppose. We're not really going to say no to a trade, especially with our extra material. Bring a rook to d1. Maybe push. Another trade, again with our extra material. We're not really gonna say no. Okay, so we're thinking of maybe starting to invade on the other side of the board. Yes, the pieces are coming over here, but I'm taking pawns. That's what I'm doing. So queen back to f3 defends everything. Moving the king also does, but I think queen f3 is most solid. Rook f6, queen g3, or queen e2, but any kind of queen trade we'd be a big fan of. Now I think I'm gonna go e4. I'm just looking to trade, looking to open things up. e5. My opponent still might have some back rank issues here. And so that might be a very nice move. Let's attack the queen. That queen is gonna have to go back. I don't think you can stay out here. Really solid game so far. Let's double up the rooks. We're ahead 2 pawns here. We want trades. But we want a pawn really early in this game because our opponent just overextended, like pushed the e pawn a little bit too far. Let's make space for our. No, are we really gonna do this? Takes. Always ready to trade, but okay. e5. Because we're always ready to trade. We're gonna do this, and the queen actually covers the only place my opponent could check my king. It's really on this diagonal because this and this are covered. So I'm basically going to have this queen cover my king and then push the pawn all the way. This stays on that diagonal and helps me make another queen. Check. Bring my queen back. Then either this or queen g4. Kind of like queen g4. Offers a trade. Let's use this one. GG Kotka. Such a nice game. Such a strangely subpar, like, first 4 moves from him. 4 or 5 moves. And then just like nothing but bangers. Like ever since, like these moves were questionable. E4, a little aggressive. And then again, this is like the low elo move against our Taimanov, right? People love to bring that bishop out. So e4 was not good and bishop here was not good. But apart from that, like pretty much from here, I thought Buddy was just a killer. Played super well. Yes, traded pieces, but like not a single significant blunder from here on out. Really impressive. yeah, as far as the opening, e4 is a little bit much. Yeah, at this point, the only way to keep the pawn would be to play queen here, right? But, you know, we can maybe bring our knight to go capture it. We can just continue with our setup. At some point, we can play d3 happily and trade it. So, not too concerned with something like this, but if we have a knight on f3 and our opponent can safely play e4 and we can't go to the center, that's usually an issue. So when you have your knight here, you want to keep in mind, can my opponent play e4? If they play e4 and you play knight g5 and you win the pawn, that'll save you. But if you can't go knight g5 and win the pawn, you can't go to the center and you have to go backwards, really bad sign, means you probably messed up. So then you'd want to put your pawn on d3 to stop the pawn getting there. But as early as he did it, way too much. It's usually the case that when things are on your opponent's side of the board, like his pawn, they're easier for me to attack than for him to defend. Not always the case, but usually. Because my pieces simply are closer to the pawn. They don't have as far to travel. It is goal 11. Yes. It is. Good eye. All right. 872. Let's continue. So I think we're going to play c5 here. We might actually get a transposition. I'm just gonna play e6. Assume we may get e4. Instead, we actually get bishop f4, which looks like nothing, but the move is actually a blunder. Very surprising. But we play e5, fork the pieces, and then we play queen a5. And then we win the bishop. So an unusual type of blunder there, but nice one to keep in mind. Yeah, and now this, not sure there's too many Taimanov tricks left over. I think we broke him. I think we broke him. Hey, what's up? Is it manned or M-hand? Thanks for the host, dude. He broke his mouse. We broke him. It was a rough start for the buddy here. So normally, you know, if I'm thinking about when I see this the most, I actually see it when people play, they play this, right? And in response to this, you might play knight f6, and your opponent is like super keen to play the London, so they might play this and like play bishop f4. So this is usually where I see this tactic. You take, knight takes, e5. This is very common. A well-known tactic. I haven't quite seen it like this. We win e6 just because we wanted to allow our opponent to play e4 and then transpose into a Taimanov. But then he played bishop here, and yeah, e5 is e5's pretty strong. Win the piece. And obviously black's much better out of the opening, and a little implosion there, and we get the win. There we go. There we go. Okay. c5. We're back in our Sicillian here. e6. Hopefully these moves are familiar. Every time you see d4, snap it off. And knight c6. So we're still in the main line here. And one thing I think people are tempted by is a6 because it stops the knights from going here. But even though that's true, we still start with the queen to c7. And if somebody does play a knight move there, bring your queen back to b8, and very next move, boot the knight out with a6. It'll be okay. You will survive. However, once you put your queen to c7, almost no matter what your opponent does, truly, your very next move should be a6, because now you do need to take control of that. Bishop f4. When people play bishop f4, at this point, simply because he's kind of rushed it, I would say e5 is very, very tempting. Because even if he plays knight d5, you know, we can move our queen, and he's going to lose some piece. So after this, knight takes c6 is kind of required. We're forking here. And positions when you play e5 are the ones where, when they capture, I would give more consideration to d takes. These are the main positions where you play d takes are ones where you play d5. These moves synergize really well together because you play this and you give up control of d5 and it's like, wait, this looks kind of bad. But then you take here and you get back control over d5 and it's like, wait, this is kind of good. Knight f6, moves like this. Also looking at b5 here. Not sure we need to play it right away. Let's bring the knight out for a sec. Let's move like that. Maybe we could grab there. Let's gain a little bit of space. And it's not necessarily because I want to put my bishop there, but I just don't really want to deal with knight a4. e2. Let's go for our modest development. We still, you know, bishop g4 is not necessarily winning something. So don't get the wrong idea. Bishop e6. Happy with the pieces. Knight can't go there. f4 looks natural, but then it runs into bishop g4. And that move is really going to get my attention because I just see weaknesses, right? Dark square weaknesses. Bishop b4. And it's amazing how just one pawn move and suddenly you're like struggling to keep it together here. So we need to see this by him. It's really the only way to continue playing here. And it does keep things together for the moment. Even if I check him here and he has to move away, I'm also moving one of my pieces away from the knight. This move, not going to get it done. Unfortunately, it's probably going to walk into mate in the next 2 moves. B3, just one move, really. It hurt. Big time. Dark squares are nasty weak after that. So again, start with the queen. Even if they hit you with bishop f4, e5. So remember this line for sure. And knight d5 looks scary, but as long as you put your queen back somewhere safe, let's say here, right? Defend e5. Knight takes c6. Don't panic. Take it back. At this point, I would maybe say open up the queen. But you got 2 pieces hanging here. So you're just winning. You're just winning. So knight d5 is not that scary. Looks scary, but wouldn't worry about it. Takes here, bishop there, and yeah, we just, pieces pretty much get developed like that. Long castle. You know, b4 might threaten the pawn at some point. Knight g4 might win the bishop at some point. And after this, I think the position is teetering on lost. I would say most likely after king here. I'm probably looking at knight g4 as a strong move because I know that Well, first of all, bishop here doesn't make any sense. Like, I can attack it. I can also play knight takes f2 because the knight's hanging. I would probably want to get rid of the dark square bishop. And my opponent's basically paralyzed here. Like, can't move a single thing. So I'd want to like take here, castle, maybe play c5, c4, or just castle and play rook d8. Like, I just view this as like a permanent pin situation. It looks pretty gross. I just don't see what white can do. It's like completely stuck. So I'd probably take the dark square bishop off his hands, and then the dark squares around the king would be even more dangerous. Because if I don't take the dark square bishop, I feel like white's gonna go queen here, bishop d2, knight b1, and unpin. And whether or not that works is a different story, but I would probably take that so that there's no way to untangle here. And the other plan that looks really nasty is just c5, c4, because if you open up a c file, that's another way to just win the knight. Yanny Penny. Had to wait 5 minutes to chat. What's up, everyone? What's up, man? Yeah, we got the 5-minute follow on. I'm glad you didn't get deterred. I appreciate you waiting in purgatory there. Okay, we're up against Roid Monster. Nice, we've got a Sicillian here. If d4, we're ready to take, but as we know, when the bishop goes to c4, a6, right? We want to have this b5 move, and we don't want to have bishop b5. And why do we start with the pawns like this? Because it's so common people to lose and trap their bishop. And I mean, Buddy's resigning after 5 moves. Like, I mean, people gotta stop playing. I have no sympathy, by the way, for people that play bishop c4. It's like, but he's playing a GM. It's like, he should know better. You don't play this trash. Bishop c4 against the Sicillian, no sympathy. I couldn't explain rationally why people do it so much, but it's like they learn what to do against e4, e5. Bishop goes here, knight goes here, and they just autopilot in every single opening in chess for the rest of their life. It's like that's all they do. And the nice thing and the really exciting thing about the Sicillian that I'm teaching you here is that it is the best possible Sicillian to handle this bishop c4 move. And guess what? Everyone plays bishop c4. So if you play a different Sicillian, let's say you play the dragon, or you want d6 for the Najdorf, bishop c4, sorry to say, it's not going to be amazing, but it's going to work a lot better against those Sicilians. It's going to be playable. Bishop c4 against our Sicilian is nearly unplayable, and often you just win a piece right off the bat. Even if he doesn't lose a piece and he goes like this, the bishop is just staring at this pawn chain. Is a really, really bad piece. So, bishop c4 in the Grand Prix, okay? No, it's not. What people don't know about the Grand Prix is like, the Grand Prix is something like you play knight c3. You know, people play d6, for example, but they play d6. All of a sudden, bishop c4, as I said, is a lot more okay. Right? And you can play f4, you can play bishop c4, have fun. It's a great opening, Grand Prix. But when people play e6, the Grand Prix is basically not playable. You can't do it. The whole point of the Grand Prix is you play it against other Sicilians, g6, d6. You can't really do it here and play bishop c4. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So that's why I'm telling you, the Sicilian that I'm teaching you right now is so OP because people love to put their damn bishop on c4. And it just happens to be the Sicilian that works the best against bishop c4. So as you get to your higher elos, people won't play it as much, but when you're starting out, everyone's gonna spam bishop c4, and my hope is that you always get a very, very good position. What if bishop b5? Bishop b5, so what? What about our moves, Shadow the Man, have you seen the bishop b5 stops? e6, a6, b5, if possible c4 to trap your bishop. By going bishop b5, aren't you just walking into me going like that and winning your piece? If you play bishop b5, I say thank you very much. Aaron Gull, thank you for the 5 subs. The kick cinco. Thanks, Aaron. For the boys. Appreciate that, Aaron. As we close in on 900. Thanks for the support, buddy. The kick support. Big Aaron. Played your first game with the Taimanov main line and easily won in 11 moves, says Badkin. Does anyone else have a story to share? If you played a game in the Taimanov and you lost in 11 moves, I will be banning you if you speak right now. So, only positive stories. We want to create a Taimanov echo chamber in here. Only want to hear about the wins. If Badkins can win with it, you know it had to be a good opening. Ouch. Ouch. You had some satisfying wins with the Taimanov. Does anyone, or did anyone, play this opening already before I started this series? I only started it maybe in the last couple weeks. Did anyone happen to be playing it already? Zentro, you'll test it out. Glezzy. All right, there we go. We got some people. Chicken Pants has been using it pretty nicely lately. But let's try to get up to 900 here. One more game for 900. Come on, here we go. All right, we got the white pieces. C4. We're going to keep the setup here. So he's got his setup, you know, little King's Indian, right? Okay, but we've got our setup. This should look very familiar to you. That doesn't seem to bother me just yet. This castle. Oh, he's got the speed here. H3, A5. All right, I think I am gonna take this. You know, bring a rook to the open file. Never hurt nobody. I have some juicy light squares that I'm gonna look to penetrate here. I see these pawns, which means a great thing for me to do would probably be to trade light square bishops. All right, let's take here. We know that we want to do this, right? Anytime that we're playing this opening, like that's truly an automatic. Let's keep pieces on the board here. I got knight d6. A lot of pawns that are loose that I can start attacking. Knight goes back to f6. Maybe not the worst move. Knight d6 here. We also have knight takes f6, but I like this one a little bit more. Knight for bishop would be the best possible trade, and okay, we'll achieve it here as well. Best possible trade. All these dark square pawns, light square bishop should run the board here. Queen. And win the game. I said the light square bishop should run the board. As soon as he gave away his light square bishop, he moved his queen to a light square and lost the game to my light square bishop. Timing. Timing. You're sold on the Taimanov like you were sold on Odds Jam using code chessbrah. Attaboy, Badkins. That's the way to be. Unfortunately, the Taimanov is not... It has a different guarantee, you know? Odds Jam has a money-back guarantee, which makes it very enticing to try, honestly. I don't have the same thing for the Taimanov, but it's mainly because I don't need to guarantee your ELO back. Because you're not going to lose any. It's only up from here. Don't have to worry about that. Taimanov will be your new Stonewall. I'd love to see some games if people are trying it out. Michael Jube, hello, buddy. Hello, Michael. We're on 900 here. But I'm feeling the Taimanov vibes. So I'm gonna go a little more. Yes, Clash is in session. I think I'm gonna go a little bit more. We've been getting some pretty instructive positions today, so I'm feeling it. Okay. E3, not a very inspiring move, to be honest with you. I'll play C5, but obviously we expect D4. And the main thing about the Sicillian is people play E4, and after D4, we take, because then the knight takes back, right? But you don't really want to take when a pawn can take back. Now, it's like I'm playing with the white pieces. So my opponent is now in a Sicillian, down a move. This is perfect. I mean, this is great. A6, maybe wait for that bishop C4 nonsense, you know? Okay, what have we been talking about with E5? Usually a little bit early, right? Okay, he still plays this move. Can we talk about how many people play this goddamn bishop move? Hitting the pawn, and I'm sorry, my friend, you are too late. E4, we'll take. Develop our bishop. As I've been saying, our queen on this square is actually really, really nice. Here, pawn takes, bishop takes, and queen e5 check will actually win the piece. And I can guarantee you that, like, I can promise you that will happen. Guaranteed. Mon Hamilton guarantee. Never been wrong in 50 years. Surprising there. Move was kind of good. What's going on? What's going on here? We're not supposed to see these type of good moves. Queen e2. How do you play d5 and come up with queen e2? I am impressed. Bishop g5? Like, huh? We need to do some oil checks. We need to do some oil checks. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Just curious. Oh, and the immediate resign. Okay. Had to check his oil. Are you guys noticing a pattern? Are you noticing a pattern? Like, what moves are common against our setup here? E5, like people just randomly playing E5, unprovoked, attacking nothing, is happening so often. The other thing is bishop c4. They're just playing it for no reason. There's like, it's literally the worst diagonal on the board. Walking into b5. So you're getting a lot of these things that just set you up for immediate success in the opening. The dubs are adding up. That's what you noticed. And there we go. Oh, check Manarov taking notes for his new opening, I think. Opponent has 22,000 games. Oh, jeez, I should have looked at that. That's a, you know, he's got TSA pre-check, you know? He's flying through security. He's fine. Didn't realize I was dealing with a frequent flyer. High Torch says 15 sub challenge. Every other move is a pawn move. I'm gonna run out of moves. Every other move is a pawn move. And we're doing it in the Taimanov? Oh boy, this is gonna be tough. So you're saying every other move is a pawn move. Okay. Every other move is a pawn move. Got it. I can do that so far. I feel like it's gonna get tricky though. Okay, knight. I need a pawn move next. I'll tell you what I really need. I need this game to end immediately. I need the game to just be over soon. That's what I need. Need a quick win. Now, queen here is bad because after this, first of all, even if I could do knight there, it would actually not be good. Alright. Why does this game look like a little bit normal so far? I'm just a natural, eh? I'm a natural. Like, I haven't even had to think about the challenge because every move just makes so much damn sense. Here. I think I want to do this one, honestly. I need to get some kind of here takes on piece. I'm doing the math on how it works out. Yeah, I don't want him to castle, so let's go here. So pawn takes, queen takes, and I need a piece. The hardest part is, yeah, no, let's leave that for the moment. Let's leave that. Let's go here. So if we go here, it's gonna be a knight move. We can't have that. We can't have that. These moves are gonna be winning the game, but like, but this is crazy. Like how then the flying hell, like this is unbelievable. It's impossible. Like that move's insane. The queen d4 is absolutely nuts. I'm assuming checks don't count. If I'm checked, what can I do, right? You know? Like if I'm checked, I'm checked. I can't battle the checks. I also think technically we've moved our king twice. So I would say the challenge is over. Because it's like, you know, if the queen goes here, I think the challenge is already done. I think we're KO'd. I wouldn't say that I've won this challenge, even if I did it the rest of the game and won, truthfully. So with 8 seconds and the position of lifetime, really looking forward to this. We need this. Oh my god, and he hits me with this. It's like, that's what I was looking for. We need to get some checks in. Man, I should have pre-moved rook b3. That was my own fault. I should have done it. I knew he was gonna do it, but I chickened out because I was like, if I lose my rook, like, it's over. But if we take it, we're gonna get a queen, most likely. Of course he could stop it. We're dead lost, but I should have trusted myself. I pre-moved it. I was like, I think he's gonna do it. But then I was like, I think if I do it, then he'll just take and it'll be dead lost. Should have trusted myself. Rook b3, most likely would have done this. He would have queened, but we would have got in with check and would have been in there with a shout. Would have been in there with a shout. Well, tough challenge, but to be honest, so doable. I don't know, maybe this attempt looked tough, but I actually think the opposite. This attempt made me think it's so doable, but what am I supposed to do about this? But honestly, like, what are the fucking chances that this happens? This move is crazy. I can't possibly predict it. Queen d4, and he did it on demand too. It's like, it not only is it the best move in the position, but god damn. Queen d4, nuts. Because the point is I have to make a pawn move and then the piece move, pawn move, piece move. So this move just is the strongest move for the challenge and the strongest move on the board. This 900 is just whipping it out. It's like, no bishop, no trying to castle, no trying to castle this way, just queen d4. Like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Thank you, PyTorch. I never like to be in debt, so I have to attempt it once more. This is our journey under 900. So thank you for the 20 subs. Not only paying for the challenge, but actually overpaying, by the way. That was a 15 sub challenge. Wait a minute. Was it 15 subs if I succeed? And 20 subs if I fail? Did I misunderstand the challenge? Losing this game may have been a smart business decision. Wait a second here. Oh, that's a great offer, PyTorch. 20 sub participation trophy. All right, well, we'll go for our next game. We'll give it one more try. And then we'll get back to it. C4. All the moves in that last game are so natural. I was really impressed with myself. So the goal is that you move a pawn, you move a piece. You move a pawn, you move a piece. Okay. If I go here, I can't take back with the pawn. That's always annoying. So I want to go there, but I'm not quite in time. So if he plays this move, I don't think I'll get a mate on him. So I need... I almost need to play this, even though it's not the best move. Need to look at all our options here. Maybe this. We just have to hope he's not intending that. I mean, it really looks like he is. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. We need moves like that. Now, problem is, my next move needs to be a pawn move. And I can't move a pawn right now. So if he takes here, which he's going to do, like I can't take it or push. He's going to take here. And when he takes here, my next move's gonna have to be a pawn move. So I'll have to take here. Ah, that's friendly. We got a nice trade going on. Really need this. Shoot, my moves are backwards. When he takes here, I need to be able to take there. But I'm on the pawn move right now. God damn it. God damn it. Oh my god, I really need to play that move. That's very unlucky. Super unlucky. We had a meeting attack there. Super hard. Oh, I can't even take it. Yeah, well now we lose. Super hard. The moves just didn't work out there. We had a mate. Nah. Close. Damn. This was just the worst luck. Truly the worst luck. So maybe I shouldn't have done this, but I thought this was very intelligent. And everything was gonna work. But like, this is what I'm saying. These 900s are on crack. It's like they all know my exact challenge. You're telling me 900 gets their bishop attacked and has the foresight to play queen a6 check? Like, what the fuck kind of move is that? Hello? Like, what are these moves? Unbelievable. Thanks for the host, Seth. Thank you, buddy. We're trying a very tough chess challenge right now. The challenge is to win a game against the 900. There may be other rules involved, but it's complicated to get into. Piece, pawn, piece, and then here I needed pawn. But if it was somehow flipped, I would have been golden, right? If it was piece right here, it would have been piece, pawn, and then piece. Like, that would be winning. So unlucky. And it's all because of this goddamn queen move. Threw everything off. I had the rhythm. I had the rhythm here. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. We got a nice host there from Seth Drums. I wonder, is it actually a guy playing drums on the channel? That's pretty dope. Asmaniac, thanks for the 10 subs. We'll count those as subs supporting this challenge. And we just had a really nice host, so at the risk of losing all my rating, I will try it one last time. But we're going all the way down. We're going all the way down. This challenge is insanely hard. You think it's easy. Even me, I think it's easy. Not easy, but so doable. But every time I attempt it, I'm like, man, this is harder than I thought. You have to get it to work. The challenge is you need to move a pawn, and then a piece, and then a pawn, and then a piece. You have to alternate. Gonna need you to just castle that way for me, pal. That would be normal. We were on the peace move, so we couldn't defend it. Honestly, not much we could have done there because he was just going to be hanging. Okay, so now we go pawn. Problem is when your queen is out here, as soon as it gets attacked on the wrong move, so to speak, you're kind of in trouble. Like if I take this, he goes here. It's like I can't even move the queen again. Insanely tough. I can't take him because I need to alternate on some pieces. So yeah, if I take, this move just knocks me out. And honestly, if I castle, technically this move just wins. Like, it's not a good move, but no, I have the pawn to take, thankfully. Okay, so we're okay for a sec. F5 we have an answer for. But yeah, when your queen is out here, it's just as soon as you lose the rhythm, might just be losing the queen. Okay, we need a pawn move. Definitely gonna be that. So this is possible, but then he's gonna take here and I need a pawn move. You know what I mean? I don't think I can do that. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like now I need a pawn move. So it has to be this. This is where it just gets insane. And unfortunately him taking, like everything's defended. It's like, it's the worst possible situation. So impossible. Because that's my piece move, and it's like, my next move has to be some random... I'm not even gonna have enough pawns to move. You know? I need this bishop here, and I need mate there. I think that's the only way it's gonna work right now. Yeah. My queen is also being hunted, which is not a good sign. I only literally have one square on the board, and the next move is gonna be knight here, so... kind of cooked as well. Not much we can do. It's actually like an impossible challenge. The more I'm attempting it, the more I'm like, yeah, this is impossible. At least our challenge is still alive here. So previously I've been thinking a lot. Our challenge has kind of been dying. But at least here we have challenge is technically still alive. I mean, what can I do about these? Like, I can't count it as a win. It doesn't really count. But what can I do about these moves? It's impossible. If I get checked, it's like the challenge is just over. I only missed one move, but it was literally the last move of the game. It was, technically, it was all done by the challenge up till here. And then the very last thing, we missed the pawn move here, and we did the piece move. So we only missed one move. And he flagged right after. It still rendered the challenge incomplete. So brutal. But even still, it's like, we kind of got wrecked in the actual challenge. Like, in terms of on the board, I was losing pieces everywhere. Still doesn't even feel like we did the challenge properly. I can't accept it, PyTorch. It's not actually done. He seems satisfied. I'm not counting it. 20 subs from PyTorch. It's not done yet. Technically, it doesn't count. If there was a world championship for this, it wouldn't count. I know Realty Money. Now I'm more in debt. I talked about, like, I don't like it. I don't like feeling in debt. It's like, man, PyTorch, he wanted to see the challenge done. He's counting it. That's just because he's a nice guy. He's a supporter. But it's not done. It's not done. We're gonna get this thing, PyTorch. Consider those an investment. You need to move a pawn and then move a piece. Move a pawn and move a piece. Alternate between pawns and pieces every single time. I feel like you don't want to make too many pawn moves like that. You want to keep the cards a little closer to your chest. Here we go. That's it. That's done. That's completed. That counts. That's it. That's the one. There we go. Got her. Some assistance from buddy over here. But that's a nice mate regardless. And we've done it with the Taimanov opening. Wow. So instructive. So instructive. There you go, PyTorch. A tough challenge. Honestly, if he didn't allow me to checkmate on move 14, this would have still been a very tough one. But you gotta take her the way you get her, right? PyTorch. I'd like to say, although you counted the last one, I count this one, so together, we've definitely completed it. Thank you for the challenge. Got her done. Tough one. Tougher than I thought. Holy cow, like I really underestimated this. I really did. Alternate moves with a piece and a pawn. We were just getting dominated, honestly. And if he had just, I don't know, played bishop g7 here, this would have been a tough, tough game. You should have seen me. And when I played b3 and he played knight here, obviously my instinct was like, KO, get him out of here, knight f. Then I was like, wait, can I move a piece? I had to check the notation. Thank goodness. Thank goodness it worked out. Didn't want to jump the gun there. I don't think so, 3 degrees. Don't think that's available. So there we go. We got a nice one in. I'll take it. Good stuff, PyTorch. Good challenge. Are these games making it in the YouTube vid? They might make it in a separate YouTube vid, dude. You know? They might not make it to the, you know, final cut of the Taimanov. However, I think they might make it separately. But this was good. It was fun. I think the really astute watchers will kind of realize, wait a minute, when you got to 900 you were 907, and when you started from 900 you were 910. What happened there? That's not adding up. So we'll have to explain ourselves at some point. What about the English/Dutch games? Well, the English ones for the most part might make it because it's just the reverse. Like, I think they're still fairly instructive. Not the best, but pretty good. The Dutch ones will obviously be separate though. Those ones won't make it. Yeah, JL Pauls. We don't want people to be like, oh yeah, I'm learning the Taimanov. Oh, okay, so you just lost a piece. Wait, why didn't he recapture it? Wait, he couldn't recapture it? Wait, why couldn't he move a pawn? He couldn't move a pawn? No. We don't want to confuse people. Can't have that. Gotta edit this one out. Wow, Czech Manarov is saying hi from the treadmill. Holy Chad. Treadmill Chad. Treadmill Czech. Hello, buddy. Hello, Jingo. Educational. You're signing off on that? Okay, we got the Jingo stamp. Hi, B. Slow Bra tonight? No. I'm actually not streaming that much longer. Would love to go all night with y'all, but today is a much shorter day for me. I think the last, like, 2 days, I've just been going till like 2 or 3 a.m. So it's a much shorter stream for me. Eric has already been streaming for good, what was it, like 4+ hours? 3 degrees. Hey, you found us, buddy, and thanks for the sub there. Thanks, 3 degrees, and subbed right here on Kick with us. Thanks a lot. Oh, Miha613. Hello to Miha and Czech Manarov. Man, Canadian rock fan, it is a lot. Right now, like, it's always kind of random to me. The smoke just shows up, but the air quality outside is disgusting. It's really nasty in Toronto right now. Yeah, as we've talked about, the sub counter, we're looking to fix it, try to find our own workaround with the help of Darkbone, but it only counts subs, like new subs, like 3 degrees, he just subbed himself, but it doesn't count gifted subs. So, PyTorch, he's not in that counter. He's got his own counter. And PyTorch is at 40. I'm keeping track of his separately. Oh, is the NFL or NHL draft tonight? Toronto Maple Leafs, yes, drafting like 28th overall. Great. Very exciting, very exciting. I remember that hand over fist. That was honestly kind of scary. It looked super like apocalyptic. Like I Am Legend with Will Smith or something. We'll fix it soon, Michael. We'll fix it soon. All right, I was gonna go for 950, but honestly, I had a lot more fun getting sidetracked with the challenge. Marbles energy is high. Is that right, Mike? I find you to be a tough guy to believe. Mike. My marbles energy is not very high right now. We got Taimanov on the treadmill. Tonight is my chill night. Tonight is my chill night. Tomorrow, I probably won't have the stream on super early, but tomorrow will be a longer stream on Kick. Maybe some marbles, some League. Tonight's my chill night. So, it's a no for marbles, but you can take my no for tonight and count it as a guarantee for tomorrow. Shot price. Spencer is a funny guy. Yep, marbles and shots. That's exactly what I wanted to get up to on my chill day. Hey, you know me so well. You know me so well. Now, tomorrow's Thursday, so we got our, Thirsty Thursday evening streams. Maybe some League late night, maybe some more Below Deck, who knows. We'll do more Slow Bra tomorrow. Probably more of this Taimanov series as well. But I'm going to leave it at 900 for now, and I'm going to take off a little bit early. Thanks to PyTorch for fun challenge at the end. I was going to go for another 50 points, but this was way more fun. Every other move, piece and pawn, piece and pawn. Tomorrow will be a pretty long stream on Kick. It might just be on Kick. I'm not sure I'm gonna go live on Twitch at all, so I'll be seeing you guys right back here tomorrow. All right, right on this Kick channel, kick.com/chessbrah. You've already found it. Thanks for following, and thanks to Latin and Blonde for the Kick Cinco. He's a specialist there. Thanks, Latinum. I'd love to keep going, but I'm gonna have some food, take it easy, and recoup some energy for tomorrow. It'll be a fun one tomorrow, so I'll see you there. Take care, guys. Flowey, that's our goodbye now. Appreciate you, Latinum, Bass Maniac, PyTorch. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Flowey.